So what I have here is a Double Dragon bootleg board. I actually got it from a friend of mine. I swapped it for a painting. That's the one I showed you in the box, and I was just testing it to see how it worked and if it worked. Well, this is what I get when I boot it up. Garbled stuff. So usually at this stage, and he told me that it might not always boot every time. So what I normally do, he said, so he said if it doesn't boot, like he said, it boots 9 times out of 10, but I haven't been able to boot it. He said just give these a bit of a shake and whatever, and it starts. So I knew what that meant. I thought I knew what it meant. Maybe there was a cold solder point, or actually that was more likely a cold solder point, or one of these is broken. So I swapped it with this that I know works, and I'm still getting the same problem. It's not booting. So I was inspecting near the CPU here, and when I moved this guy, I could see that I was sort of getting some change signal. There you go. Now it's booting. And when I was moving this guy, let's see, there you go. Now it's not. So I was just shaking this and it started booting every now and then. So what I found out is that this guy here is slightly loose. And I think we've got a small cold solder point. And if let me see if I can, there you go, stuff has changed. So I can get the board to boot if I wiggle this fella. So I'm just gonna disconnect this and have a look behind, because so this is the CPU. This is why I was suspicious. So I kind of re-socketed it, and yeah, see, there you go. So what we have here is so this was changed to be put on socket. Let me get some light here. There you go, that's much better. And here what we have is the capacitor. So either this capacitor is bad, or there you go. You can see the cold solder point. This guy is moving. So has the trace lifted off? No, I don't think so. Yeah, okay. And here, while I'm at it, I don't really see. I see some solder that is not ideal, but it should work. Definitely this shouldn't be happening. So let me grab my soldering iron and see if we can fix this. Okay, so I reflowed the solder on this guy, but yeah, you can see if I press the CPU, there you go, it does stuff. So it didn't entirely fix the problem, but it was definitely loose and the CPU couldn't start. Anyway, but the game is sort of freezing every now and then, and there you go. If I press my fingers on, or if I shift the CPU every now and then, the game sort of halts and continues, and it's not constant. There you go. It's frozen now. If I press, it's gonna continue. If I press somewhere, it's gonna sort of erratically freeze. So I'm going to do 2 things here. I already saw that there was some solder that wasn't exactly up to scratch at the bottom. So I'm going to reflow the solder for the CPU as well. Not entirely satisfied with this. Is this still moving? I'll have a look. And then I'm going to desocket the CPU, just clean the legs, and see what happens. Okay, so I just reflowed the solder for the socket. I took out the CPU, just cleaned the legs. What I use is, where did I put it now? It seems to be gone. I use what's there? It is a fiberglass pen. It's one of these. So you just twist the top, and you get these sort of strands of fiberglass. It's called a magic eraser, but it quite does wonder in cleaning all sort of stuff from corrosion. It's gentle enough. It's like a very, very, very mild sort of abrasive, if you will. I'm trying to find something that's kind of dirty here. There you go. So you can actually just use that. No, I don't think that's dirty. I think that's just faded. Actually, this board is quite clean. But anyway, believe me, it works well. So I just use that to clean the legs of the CPU. I just, sort of just rub that gently on the legs. You can actually use that as well for your carts. If you have carts that aren't starting well, instead of using all sort of chemicals that could actually just corrode in the long term, you can use that. It's a very, very mild abrasive though. So if you can use alcohol first to clean it, and then as a last resort use that. But it works really well. It's usually recommended because it's quite gentle and it doesn't put pressure on the legs. You don't run the chance of breaking them. Anyway, I think that should be it. So we're going to start the game. I also just flipped the dip switches, so it's actually the right way. But there you go. It's all working. Happy days. So it was just a cold solid points. Which I suspected when he said just give these guys a bit of a shake, and it'll start. It's usually an indication that there's a cold solder joint. So there you go, Double Dragon fixed.